Welcome to Talent Talk. Today is a great day. We are going to do something we don't always do. We're going to give you a chance to ask the experts anything you want. Actually, as a matter of fact, we have some pre recorded questions that we're about to go through. So, are you ready for a fun time? I know I am. So, let's go. Hey, guys.
Hey, what's I feel like it's been like too long since we've been here together. So excited. Good morning.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
Morning. So today we have a few questions we're going to be answering, right? So we had some of our agents go ahead and submit some questions ahead of time, but we are definitely open. So if you have any questions out there in Facebook land, if there's a burning question you've had on your mind for a while, go ahead and pop that on the comments and we'll make sure that we get those questions answered for you today. Good
That sounds
morning,
great.
Victor.
What's up, Victor?
What's
Good
happening?
morning. Yes. So we're like, okay. And so, here's the thing is that we don't even know all of the questions. So I know that they were pre-recorded, but we're not even absolutely sure what's coming at us this morning. So,
Well,
but
that's
we're
supposed to be
ready.
fun.
Yeah, we're ready. We are
All
ready.
right.
Well, you know what? What is, I guess, if anybody doesn't know, what is an AMA? I mean, that's what we called it. We called this thing an AMA.
This is
American Music Awards.
It
Oh, I'm
is.
sorry.
And you get your Grammy.
Do we all have to start singing now? Because I wasn't ready for that.
Christy, come on. Be ready for anything.
hmm
this is a Ask Me Anything type of show. Ask Me Anything, AMA. If you have a question, whatever it may be, drop it in the comment section. We'll respond live.
All
So
right.
how do we got like
Live
a
and
first
local.
question?
You want to get started? We'll just run right into it.
Hey,
Let's
let's
do it.
go. Let's go.
Let's go.
When you're reconnecting with your sphere of influence or past clients, what are some good icebreakers to rekindle that line of communication?
Huh.
Wow. Going right in with the broker question. So,
hmm
the real estate question. What y'all think?
I'll start. I'll start. So, and you're gonna, and you and Steve do the scripts and all of that, the role playing and everything too. And there is something called an apology script,
Mhm.
right? Like, so if you haven't been in contact with your sphere, maybe it's a minute and you just don't want to seem like this is awkward, just apologize. Say, hey, you know what? I am so sorry. I have not been, in connection with you, but I am wanting to just, lean into my relationships. You are so special to me. And just know that even though we haven't talked, I just wanted to check in and see how you were doing, apologize, roll right in to past clients and sphere of influence.
Yeah. I always say you have to have like a reason to call. That's actually a great reason. Is that apology script. I love it. The other one I like is just hey, I was thinking about you and I just thought I'd drop you a quick line. Uh just wanted just want to see how you were doing as a family. And just kind of check in with them. Sometimes it's just like a wellness check, is all it is. And just kind of making sure that they know you're there.
One other one during this time of year is a great way to not only maybe rekindle a little bit of a relationship, but also to see where everybody's at. And we have the holidays coming up. So we know we want to connect. We know we're going to probably send out at least some cards just to, hey, here's what's going on, or really Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year, whatever it might be. Or we might be sending out maybe a video text, or we might be doing some communications just by email. So being able to just call, update, say, hey, I want to make sure I got something out your way. By the way, how are you doing? Steve, you mentioned it. Having a reason to connect, that's where it starts. And then the next part is pick up the phone, send out the text, do something with it. We have to take action.
Yeah. Are you guys, one of the things I've seen lately and talked with brokers is just kind of being a broker question and connecting. But I see a lot more people even just connecting like DM, like sliding in their DM, but just sending that DM out. Like you could see them online now. It's like, hey, I see you. Just thinking about you. How you guys doing?
Yeah, and I think that especially with social media, you're able to stay connected even easier because you're watching them with their life events. Like someone just got married, someone just had a baby, so you're able to connect with them in one of the happiest parts of their life and just, give them a quick message right on their social media.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many ways, but like Jurgen said, just pick up the phone and call, right? And then if they don't answer the phone, text, right? Or
Yeah. And I think the most surprising thing is, well, I guess it's not surprising we're all human, right? We are. But the most surprising thing is normally when you actually pick up the phone and talk to somebody you haven't in a while, they're actually happy to hear from you because they also kind of let that relationship go for a little bit. Most of the time, they're really, really happy. And you know what? If you called and you said something really nice to them and you make their day a little bit, that's a phenomenal way to impact them. But you know who else feels really good when you help somebody else feel good? You do. There's a little bit of selfishness or uh, self health in helping other people feel good.
gratitude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
All right.
right.
What's the next question? Next
Oh, and
question.
anyone can drop questions into the comments as well. If you guys have a question, it doesn't have to be about being a real estate broker. It can be about anything. It might be, what are we looking forward to next year, or what present do we hope is under the tree? It doesn't necessarily matter. This is AMA. Ask us anything.
We got a next question, Chris.
Okay, so I have a question for each of you. What is something that you suggest, a good business practice for somebody to maintain and to continue to grow in this business?
Ooh, that's a good one. I know for me, one of the biggest things I want to do is I wanted to master my my plan of action. So being able to time block everything out and stick to it. And there's certain things I know I needed to get done within the day in order to reach my goal. And I needed to make sure I planned it. So I was intentional about my planning. I did it Sunday. I planned my week out and I made sure I did everything that I needed to do that week in order to reach my goal. Even down to the small things in my plan in my day-to-day week. Like every hour was planned out. I knew exactly what I was going to be doing. That way it was getting done and nothing fell through the cracks. But master that time management.
Yeah. Steve, you stole the number one on my chart. Davina, what about you?
I agree 100% with Steve, but I'm going to roll it back. Like before you get to the putting it on your calendar kind of thing, how do you know what you're going to do on your day? And the big word is business plan, right?
Mm-hmm.
So 100% is get a business plan, get a roadmap to where you want to be, set some goals, and then when you get your calendar out, you need to be doing the things that are going to get you to that goal each day. And that discipline that Steve is talking about is winner. That's key. But business plan, number one, you got to revise it. You got to do it every year. You might have to do a mid-year or a quarterly checkup on your business plan, but that's what I would say, business plan.
Nice.
Yeah. I think mine definitely goes along with both of yours, Davina and Steve. I think mine would be having a clear vision to what you want. I think sometimes we get lost with all the extra things that are going around that we don't have a clear focus on our number one goal. So making sure that we have few goals and then we're able to eliminate or delegate those extra things that take up our time but aren't our like power. This is not like our main focus. So making sure you have a clear vision. That's I'd say that would be mine.
You know what? Then what I can do is wrap something that brings all of it together. So Davina mentioned about even before you set the schedule, you have the plan. You know what direction you want to go. Then you set the schedule, the calendar, the time blocks, everything to get there. And then, Christy, on your side, you were saying that we need to make sure. Refresh me on that. I just got off on the thought for a moment. You said what? Now?
Vision.
The
Yeah, to
vision.
have a
Yeah.
clear vision so that you're able to eliminate any of the extra stuff or delegate it out.
Which works right inside both the planning and the time blocking or scheduling to make sure you know what's important. And then the last one for me is just to, you know what? Some days everything is just smooth, and then other days you start walking down the path, but it was preparation. So if you're doing, you know what you want to do, you have all these things done, then actually being prepared to execute each time. I mean, execute, you have to execute, but being prepared. So if you're going to make reach outs, calls, everything else, before you sit down to do it, have a list, know who you're going to contact. Don't make it up on the spot. If you are going to have conversations, be thoughtful about what the conversation is looking like and where you want to go with the conversation. So if you tie all that in together between planning, vision, schedule, and then preparation, it makes it so much easier to execute rather than just going through the motions and not making progress.
No.
That's good.
All very sound advice.
Donna says the cat agrees.
I could hear the cat. I could hear the cat in the background.
I was looking around like, where is that?
I was like, where's the cat coming
Is that
from?
around here? Is that a cat I'm hearing?
Yeah.
Christy, we're rocking the headphones. I
I
think
know.
Steve and Jurgen need to get a pair.
Yeah, it's
Wow,
the whole look for 2023.
What? Did you say Steve and Jurgen need to grow a pair? What?
All right, next question. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Question is like what should I know as a real estate agent going into the winter months for the first time? Like what do I need to know to just be the best agent I can be during this time? Like what are your tips? Like how can I prepare for this?
That's good.
Yeah, who wants-
I guess since I've been kind of starting around, the first thing that comes to mind is agents tend to have this automatic feeling that winter means slow. And the first thing I would say is don't listen to any of that. This is the time to boots on the ground and sprint and run and get ready for the new year. So it's not a time to, obviously family time and the holidays and enjoying that time, but don't take it off and talk about it slow time. It's not slow time, it is go time. So that would be my first, just mindset in the holiday season. And also, as we're talking about relationships, perfect time as a new agent to send out those holiday cards, whether you've been in the business for a while or not, but perfect time to reach out to everyone that you know. So you may not have past clients yet, but you've got friends, you've got family, and it doesn't matter where they are in the United States. Reach out to them, let them know that you're thinking about them, sending those holiday wishes, and also make sure everybody you know knows that you are in real estate.
Yeah.
And that's what I would say.
Hey, Davina, guess what? I don't know if you can see it. Oh, it's blurring. I wrote down mindset when I first heard. That's exactly the first thing I did as well. But Steve, what about you?
Sorry. And then I did two. I took two. It wasn't just one. Sorry.
No worries. The whole thing. This is AMA. This is get on it. You got
Ask
it.
me anything. This is like a great discussion. I mean, all brokers
Yeah.
should be listening to this, taking a lot of this advice. But it's very much in the same line with Davina and Jurgen were talking about. I step on the gas, turn it up because it is a mindset. People start to think they're slowing down.
Mhm.
I've had my best months in the winter months because while people are slowing down, I'm speeding up. I'm out there looking for the business, and that's what I would be doing. I mean,
Okay.
don't slow down.
Yeah.
You
And
want to have
you know
a
what?
strong quarter one.
Right in line with all that, I would say take this opportunity to connect. This is the time where the relationships are so important. The gratitude, the just the whole spirit of the season. Don't lean away from it. Don't act as though real estate is just this business that's, you do this, 1 + 1 = 2. The math doesn't work that way. It's multiplied by the relationship, the deepness, the closeness that you can get to. So this is a phenomenal time to make sure you really connect with people and do it with joy in your heart.
I got the joy. Oh, that's
Yep.
down in my heart.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that was me pointing down in my heart. That could have looked weird, but I mean, I was saying down in my heart.
All
Christy,
right.
what's our next question?
All right. Jared's going to pull.
How do you balance your work life and home life for both of them to be healthy?
Ooh, good question.
All right. That is a good one. It's definitely hard. It is definitely hard being able to balance, mom full time and work full time, and making sure that I'm still being able to nurture both of them. I think one of the biggest things that I've taken from this year, especially my year with a toddler, is time blocking. Just making sure that I have time throughout the day to give him time, but also to make sure that I have all my projects and my work done, so that I'm not just scrambling, just trying to do little by little everywhere. Just making sure that, hey, from this time to this time, I'm sitting down, I'm working on what I need to, and I know that he's taken care of as well. So I think that's the biggest thing that I've had to learn in the past year and a half being a mom.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you just hit it right on the head, Chris. You need to be intentional and set your time. Your family time, your business time. Just have everything kind of planned out, and not let things consume you so much that you're neglecting other things. And I know sometimes that's hard, but just making sure that you take time for what's important, like your family and your business, but
And
just having that
yourself,
balance.
yeah. And yourself. You can't forget about yourself
And
too.
yourself, that me time. Right.
A lot of times when work-life balance is talked about, it's talked about because there are other people that are involved in what represents work-life balance. And oftentimes it's either family, a significant other, or such. And we can do all these things, but if we just do them for ourselves, it doesn't, like Steve, you mentioned intention. I wrote down intention as well. But if the intention is just kept to ourselves, other people don't know what our intentions are, and they're kind of left a little bit in the dark. So if work-life balance is involving somebody else, having clear communication with them about what you're doing, what the goals are, why you're doing certain things, and when you make plans with them or you set time aside, honor it. Like, make sure that that's just as important as any other appointment that's on your calendar. So it's not only having the intention, in the way I see it, it's not only having the intention and getting these time blocks and schedules down, but it's also clearly communicating with the people that are important in your life so they can walk that journey with you.
Yep. It's funny, when I was younger, you think, okay, you got a calendar, you got to put someone on your schedule. It's like, oh, you think you're important now, right? You got to put me on calendar. But like, that's like super important to even family. You literally have to put family on your calendar, and you got to put, just like you said, self-care, you time on the calendar, and then make that the priority. Like, really, like, why are we working anyway, right? It's most of us are working because there's a bigger why outside of just ourselves, and it usually comes down to family and things that are outside of ourselves. So they need to be on the calendar first. So family time, and the things that are important to you, get those solid on your calendar, and then let the work fill in and be intentional about that. And believe me, it's hard. It's not easy. It's hard, but the hard things are the greatest things, right? So, greatest benefits and greatest successes come from doing the hard work. So,
No.
Yeah. Isn't it amazing? That just related back to, I think, what was the first question, which was, how can you be successful in this one? Schedule, intention, all these things. They loop right in on each other.
yeah. So this is Talent Talk. We are live talking through Ask Me Anything. So we have questions. I know that time is getting away from us very quickly. So if any of you that are listening want to ask a question, please just put it in the chat, and we'd love to answer your questions right here live. Do we have any more questions?
Yeah. Oh, hey, Davina, you were saying about the heart, and I was like trying to remember. I had to look it up real quick because one of my favorite quotes is from Les Brown. Do it is easy, and your life will be hard. Like the way he says it is fantastic. Just so engaging. Do what is easy, and your life will be hard. But do what is hard, and your life will be easy.
Yeah, love it. Yes.
All right.
Well, you need a T-shirt.
Do we got another video question?
When are we going to acquire another office?
The burning question.
Well,
right.
A setup for the question is this. We're looking at the market. Market is contracting a bit. A lot of people are wondering what's happening. Buyers are a little afraid of some things with the interest rates, even though there's some good news and there are opportunities within there. Sellers are not sure what to do. A lot of them refinanced. There's just a little, there's hesitation at this moment. But that anytime there's uncertainty or hesitation, there's a lot of opportunity. And we see that out in the market from some good consolidations or even M&As. So with that in mind, that's the question kind of feel from Garrett is, hey, this is a really good opportunity. Is that something that's in the cards? What do you guys think?
I think the word is eyes wide open, right, for opportunity. And I think that we are in a position just where we've really grown our offices to be able to be a support. So, question, Garrett, or the answer to that question, that's actually a really good question. And I would say, I'd like to say soon. And I'd also like to say, if any of you are out there that are like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. Maybe you've got a large team or a brokerage or whatever, maybe a phone call might be a good thing to offer out. Give us a call.
Yeah, it's every new phase when things change, give new opportunities to make new decisions that maybe you haven't in the past. And as we look at it, there are those, but I mean, we'll also be very selective about what the opportunities are as well, because whatever happens, if for us, we want to look at all the opportunities to grow, but we only want to grow the right way because we understand what we represent as a culture, what we want to do, and how we best help the people that we support, because we support them, but our agents, our brokers, our staff, everybody else really supports us in the big mission as well. So if the opportunities exist to partner, collaborate, or grow the family with very like-minded people with the same vision was talked about before, that's specifically what we're looking for. And one of the great things is if we really know that in our heart and we've got it written down and we're really crystal clear on it, it's so much easier to find those specific opportunities rather than looking at everything as an opportunity and being really confused.
Yep. Well said.
All right, let's get that next question up because we are running out of time.
So one question I have is, as a committee member for the DEI for Thurston County Realtors, how do we get more people excited about doing the extra work for our realtor group so that we can, as a association, can move some of these projects forward.
And real quick, that's Josh Heisen, I think. And please look in the comments later, and we'll put who everybody asked the questions. I don't think we remembered to say that. And he mentioned DEI, diversity,
Equity,
and inclusion.
inclusion. Mhm.
And with Thurston County, he's a part of the DEI group. As a matter of fact, he leads that. Davina, you're also in the DEI part of things. So with Josh's question, Josh Heisen's question, what is that for you to help get things moving forward on the different projects or goals?
I know for me, it just, a lot of it has to do with just still keeping that conversation open and going and moving forward, and just always having that, having that talk, putting it out there. Like what we're doing right now when we're talking about DEI, just bringing it to the forefront and keeping that conversation moving forward. So I'm also learning as well. So I know Davina is a big part of that, what she's doing with our corporate office, in working within the DEI.
Yeah, I think, and you know what Josh says, as he is the chair for the Thurston County Association of Realtors DEI committee, and one of the things is interest, right? So he's saying, how do we get more people kind of interested in doing the work, like being a part of the change, and or getting the word out. And because a couple, within the last year and a half, there was a large group of people that were interested, and now the interest is kind of waned off a little bit, right? So I would say one of the things to do, like Steve said, is just to keep having conversations, and more so even making more invitations to join the conversation is really important, and that just comes with continuous reach out. The events that the TCRA DEI committee is hosting, those are great. It's literally, it's like building a business, right? It's like you got to get the wheel rolling, and then you got to keep pushing. So I think what Josh is doing is he's right on track but just to keep going, pushing, and then getting more people to make the invitations to join the conversations.
Yeah. You know what? I wrote this down because Josh is an example of it. It was important to him. He didn't sit on the sidelines. You have to, if you can read that. You can't read it. It says engage. Like nothing happens if people don't get engaged. And if there's something that's important in your heart, no matter what the issue might be, engage. Not only will you help get action started, will there be a ability for something to get executed on, but when it actually goes back into, especially when there are so many different real estate related issues that you could have a voice in, not only do you have an opportunity to help move things forward, but you know what? As you are engaged in that, people can see what it is you're doing. They can see your passion in it. And you don't have to, like we talked about marketing, how do I get seen? Be passionate about something, get engaged in it. And if it's real estate related, people will see you. And you don't have to call somebody and say, hey, did you know I'm in real estate? They see it because your passion shines through and you're engaged.
Yep. Absolutely. Are we out of time? I feel like we're out of time.
I think we have one last question and then the wrap up.
Okay.
All right, let's get that ready.
Would be just their best advice on how one would find balance between what I just described, because you can't work all the time. So how you, maybe some words from the wise or, experience, what's a good way, good practices to implement where you can have family time, personal time, recreation time, alongside of a very disciplined work ethic. So that would be my question.
Yeah. Scott's question is pretty much Molly's question from earlier.
Right.
Scott Nathan, Molly Canfield from earlier.
Yeah, I actually, when and thinking that 100%, it was the same question, but also had another thing to add to that. When he's talking about all the things, you know what? You gotta learn how to say no. right? And use your best yes to things. You can't do everything. So some things you just need to not do. And that goes to Christy, you said something about delegating, right? So sometimes there's things that need to be done, but you don't need to be doing it. So you need to ask yourself a question. Is this something that only I can do? And if that's engaging in your relationships, I'd say that'd be a big yes. You know, spending time with your family, right? That'd be a big yes. But there are things that are happening in your life today that you can delegate. And you need to identify what those things are so that you can have your best yes with the things that really matter.
Yeah. And David, just diverging off that just a small bit, but being able to say no to something is hugely important. But also when we're making plans, and a lot of times we are going to, if we want to have different results, we have to start doing different things. So we might start implementing something new. We might be open to really, okay, we have to start saying yes to some new things that we haven't in the past, or doing some things that we haven't in the past. Sometimes what we forget though is to say yes to something does mean you also have to start saying no to something. So maybe there are some things that you should stop doing. That to do this, you have to stop doing this because we only have so much time in a day. We only have so much that we can give. We really can't do it all. So delegation is certainly one of the aspects, but some of it might just be, what do I stop? Like what should not even, what doesn't even need to be there at all? So we even talked about that. I want to start doing this coming up in the new year. That's awesome. What do you need to stop though? So you can have that. So yeah, with delegation, or sometimes just the no is not a delegate. It's just a hard pass.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the biggest takeaway for me would be to give yourself grace. I think that a lot of times just the stress of having to do it all is just a whole other factor. So just you did your best today. You put everything, you did what you love. I think that is definitely enough, you know. Just making sure that you know what your goals are, you look at them every day, and you're just proud of what you're doing. I think that's one of the biggest things. Just give yourself a little grace.
Nice.
I think that, and Jurgen, one other thing, and I know that you were talking about it. We've talked about it recently, and we've talked about, you know, trying to multitask and do too many things, and it really will destroy your productivity if you try to take on too many things at once. And there's some stats. I know Tom Ferry has some stats that he talks about. You know, if you focus on one thing at a time, then I want to say the productivity rate is like nearly 90% that you're going to get that task done. Yeah. And it drops down like to, if you do 2 tasks, it's like less than half, it's like 30%. It's low, it's much lower. And then if you focus on 3 tasks, it's like 1 or 3%. Like it's almost like you have literally almost no chance of completing the thing. So, you know, with that being said, just find out what's most important to you and focus on that one thing at a time. And it's progress, not perfection. Like Christy said, give yourself some grace.
Yeah. Any little wrap up there, Steve?
No. I just, you know, you guys are hitting everything right on the head. I mean, it's great sound advice. I think it's just we drop lots of nuggets here. And I think if you take some of this stuff, implement it, you will do great.
You know, there's one.
Here it is. I found it. I took a screenshot. Can you see that?
No.
Can't see.
No, read it there.
It says so it's developing habits. So if you focus on one thing, you have an 85% chance of success. 2 things is 40%, and 3 things is 3%.
Yeah.
So there it is. Found it.
You know, right now I'm going back, I'm rereading a book I haven't in a really long time because we're all getting set for our next year coming up here. We want to be as good as we can. The better prepared we are, and the stronger we are, the better that we can help people and serve people and really help impact lives out there. But one of the things is I'm rereading the book, The 12-Week Year, which is just starting to consolidate things, make, like David, you're mentioning about being able to focus in on one thing. Sometimes we focus in on one thing, but we have our timeline way too long. Like this one thing over the course of a year, breaking it down to like essentially having 4 years in a single year, you can really have much stronger impact, and the maybe the intensity or the focus on any specific thing remains much higher. Oftentimes we just give ourselves way too much time to do something, and 12-week year really helps break it down. So I'm rereading that personally, but thought I'd put that out there, that maybe really shorten the gaps on some of these things so you get more accomplished. You don't have to throw more things on top of what you're doing at the same time, but maybe shorten the time so you can start getting more accomplished over the period of time.
Yeah, sounds good. All right, let's go. This is a great way to end the week and go into the next week. Thanksgiving is next week. Yes, thank you, Chase. And you have a nice weekend too. We thank you for watching. So as we are wrapping up, remember next week is Thanksgiving. We won't be here next Friday, will we? No, next Friday.
Not next Friday.
Next Friday. Okay.
No, we might have a little something coming up though,
Yeah.
but so stay tuned. Don't go too far.
All right.
And
All
we're
right,
also going to be, as we go into December, you know, we always want to be able to continue to deliver really good information. We want to make sure we're hitting on the things that are not only important to us, but that might be important to you. And your feedback is really, really important on that. We're going to actually start segmenting out. So we'll be doing some parts for Market Report. You might actually see, as opposed to all of us being on each one, handling some different topics, because there's some things that each of us is personally really passionate about. And we want to lean into that, because we know if we're running forward with passion, that passion is going to go outwards for you guys as well. And we just love the engagement. I absolutely love you guys. So
yeah, absolutely. So thankful. So thankful. So
Steve, you look like you're throwing gang signs. I don't know if that was supposed to be a heart, but
like a retarded heart. I don't know.
All right, everyone. Well, thank you so much for tuning in today. We really appreciate everyone submitting their questions, and it was super fun getting those out there. So if you are interested in any of our upcoming events, check out our events tab. We have really cool upcoming events coming every week. We have marketing classes, we have open houses, we have Forums Fridays, we have training. Anything you can think of, just go ahead and check out our events tab. Also, if you like what you see, go ahead, give us a like, a follow, subscribe. Jürgen, do we have any other final remarks before closing out?
really it's about just mention gratitude and appreciation, just making sure that everyone understands the gratitude and appreciation we have for you, for watching, for caring about what we say. We always hope that we can give value, and that, you know, maybe give you a smile on your face as well. If so, please definitely do what Chrissy had mentioned. But yeah, I mean, we're going into Thanksgiving weekend, and we're going to be wrapping up the year, and everything that we have, that we work for, is really for everybody outside of ourselves. So thank you.
Definitely. Thank you. All right. In the count of 3, you guys ready? All right. 1, 2, 3. Be bold! Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving.